Hello from gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and this is a little update on some of my orchids. Well, it's a lovely sunny day here, but I'm skulking indoors to give you this orchid update. And it's an update on the orchids I have here in my kitchen. So in no particular order really, like it's not like all the Cattleyas or all of the Dendrobiums or anything. It's just, you know, what's handy. As you can see, I still have a number of orchids indoors, and really, you know, I'm just going to talk you through these two shelves that I have in the kitchen. Well, it's been a very kind of miserable summer here in Ireland, and the temperatures just haven't gotten very high at all. So the result of that is I didn't bring my Cattleyas out to the greenhouse at all. I don't think I have many Cattleyas just here, but okay, let's start at the top and just talk through them. See, on the left just here is the Hoya. And this has been in flower forever and ever and ever, and the scent is just amazing. Hoya carnosa, I mean. Very hard to pick it up with the backlight, but it's a fantastic plant. There's another blue and more down here. So at the very top of the shelf on the left, we have this Dendrobium, Laturia Dendrobium, that I bought from the Polish nursery not very long ago, alexandrae and atroviolaceum. And it was in flower when it came, and it finished flowering and put up a new growth there. So it's been just recently repotted. And just looking at it here, if we look in here, that looks a bit like a sheath. I wonder, might it flower again for me? I'm getting greedy now. So that plant is in good health and seems to be doing well. Below it we have some smaller ones. On the left is another Laturia Dendrobium, this time rhodostictum. And this one is very small but doing well. I've got two new growths, and this has been potted on since it was received in flower as well. Beside it we have trantuanii, and you may recall this came on a cork mount and it flowered for me and it did really well, and I unmounted it and potted it up. But when I unmounted it, what I found was it was actually two plants on the one mount, so I had two for the price of one really. Anyway, I passed it along to my friend, so this is what I have left, and it's so cute because it's such a little small one. Below them again we have Euchile mariae, and this plant has recently been potted on as well. It's got a new growth and it's finished flowering, but this is a real gorgeous one. All my friends want that one. And to the left we have the epidendrum I got from the Polish nursery. It's an epidendrum cross, as I recall. Let me see what the name is. Yeah, Rene Mark Flamethrower. And I was slightly concerned about this. You may recall when I got this, some of the roots were damaged, but I thought it would be okay. But the plant just seemed to sit there forever and not do anything. But just yesterday when I was watering, I noticed this growth coming up. Do you see that? That's a very good sign. So I'm more encouraged by what's going on with the plant now. And below it, the Laturia type Lutin Blanc. It finished flowering and it's got two new spikes now. So, I mean, this one just seems to go on and on and on. And on the lowest shelf we have my two Neofinetia, and even though these have been reclassified as Vandas, I'm going to continue calling them Neofinetia. I'm sorry. Now they're putting out new root growth, new fan growth in some instances, and what I thought was a spike now I think is just a new fan. So, well, that's a bit disappointing, but I think perhaps they're too small to actually flower yet. But that's okay. I'll have them for well, next year hopefully. Over on the right side you'll see that my Princess Mikasa Vanda is in full flower, and this one is lovely. It's still in a glass. I never got around to potting this because it was in bud, so I'm going to wait until it finishes flowering before doing anything with it. But I love, if we look at the petals there, the kind of gingham effect on them. And the best bit is the way the stems twist. Can we see that? They kind of got raised bits and they seem to twist around. It's a lovely effect. It just doesn't look strong enough to support the flowers, and yet it is. So that's Vanda Princess Mikasa Blue, a lovely one. Just beside the Vanda we have Laelia Perini, which I bought from the Polish nursery not very long ago, and as you can see it has a strong new lead, so that's very good news. And beside it, alexandrae, also from the same place, and this seemed to do nothing for a long time. I repotted it when I got it, but there is a new growth coming up there, so I'm happy with that. Down below we have Hoya Lycaste. Can you believe it? This is my Lycaste lanceolata, and it has decided to go dormant. I mean, what the? I have no idea what it's doing. Why would that go dormant now? Anyway, I'm just keeping it like moist without trying to make sure not to rot the roots or rot the bulbs at all. And hopefully it's going to, well, wake up sometime and come into growth. We shall see. Moving further up this shelf we have a potted Vanda on the left. I'm going to put all the orchid names in the details at the beginning of this video, so you can check out the name there. It seems to be doing okay since it's been potted, but well, only time will tell. And beside it, Cattleya forbesii, which is doing well and has sent up a sheath. Look at that, a sheath on its new growth. Now I don't see any evidence of buds forming in that sheath yet, but I know that this plant, I mean, it's only ever flowered once a year for me in kind of winter time, but it has before put up a sheath in summer, just nothing ever came of it. So maybe this might be the year that it flowers twice. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I certainly think it would be. And directly above it is Laelia aurea, that came on a mount last year and was the cutest looking little thing, doing brilliantly on the mount. But I felt I should pot it up, because when you go away on holidays, the last thing you need is someone having to water your mounts. So this one has been in a pot for a while and it seems to be doing well. I mean, the roots are going down into the mix and the new growth continues to grow. There it is, so fingers crossed for that one. And at the very top is Cattleya Coastal Sunrise. So this is my monster, and you're going to laugh at this, but yet again this year I've divided it. So I took a division which went off to Anna Maria in Romania, and another back bulb division which I am trying to bring on. So I mean, it has no leaves, but we'll just see if I can get it to come into growth. But it makes, now that I've taken those two bits off, it makes a much neater plant for fitting into the pot. The wind is whipping up a bit outside, so I better hurry up with the video before everything blows over. Here we have Schomburgkia, and as you will recall, this plant had two sheaths. This one here, which went brown, and now at this stage I fear that this is just withered and I'm not going to get any flowers from that, which is a shame. But I do have a green sheath over here, and if we look very closely you can see that there's something in it. And despite one sheath seemingly withering, the plant does seem to be doing well. It's got new growths, new roots, the whole business. So hopefully, I do hope that last one will flower for me, because it'll be a first flowering, and first flowerings are always brilliant. I think that's about it. Just to say, oh yeah, I've got Paphs over here on the right, And there's just a little shot of my Pinocchio, who's looking, well, really kind of cute there. And before I forget, I ran and got 2 plants that people have asked about and wanted to see an update on. And the first one is my Aerangis citrata, which flowered for me, well, a while ago, can't remember. But I repotted it, and this plant was actually in very, very coarse bark, which was surprising because all the information I could find about it said that, you know, it needed to be kept moist. So that was surprising. And when I unpotted it, I found that there was a piece of rock wool right in at the roots. Now, when I repotted it, I thought about putting it in the big bark, but, well, chickened out at the end. So it's in quite small bark. And then I just put a bit of swag on top just to keep it, well, to keep it moist. Now, it doesn't sit here on the east-facing window. It is in a much shadier position, but it seems to be doing well, and it's maturing that growth there in the centre. So far so good with that one. And then the other baby that somebody asked about was the Phaius tankervillea, which I bought at the orchid show not last April, the April before, and it was quite small. And in spring this year I potted it on in sphagnum, and it's throwing up lots of new growth since then. Again, this isn't kept on an east-facing window, it's kept in quite a shady position, and it's doing quite well, so hopefully it'll, well, grow big in due course. So that was my update on a few orchids, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to see an update on other orchids, then please let me know. We could take you to other rooms in the house. Who knows? But here's me showing the garden when we should be looking down at the orchids, shouldn't we? So that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and please check back for lots more orchidy and gardening-y stuff. Bye now.